Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 297. And in this one, we've obviously got a lot to get into. A lot's happened this week. Obviously, we've got a game tomorrow as well. So we'll get into all of that. But yeah, before we do any of that, how have you been, Dad, since Tuesday night?
Yeah, not bad, mate. All good.
Good to hear. But yeah, let's get into everyone in chat quickly. Big up to Paul, says evening all. Big up to Harry as well. He says, evening lads, hope you're both well. This is majorly tough test. This against a very good, strong Lincoln side. Totally agree. To get anything from this, Wilshere needs to get everything spot on and all the players. Yep, I totally agree, mate. I totally agree with that. Jackie says, hi, Ty and Daz. And so does Mick as well. But yeah, the first thing we'll talk about is we'll get your thoughts, Dad. Melenik Ali, obviously it was inevitable he was gonna go out on loan at least and not be part of the squad for the foreseeable future. Obviously this season, but he's gone to Portsmouth. I mean, your initial thoughts when you saw that?
Well, we kind of half expected it. He's been a 6 out of 10 this season. Towards the end of last season, he looked like the guy could have kept us up. He hasn't really replicated that. He looked good in pre-season, but chances, signings we've made, Bramall's, effectiveness on that side, Kadua's when he's come on that side, it's just pushed him to the back of the queue. But the fact that he's gone to a championship team, all right, they're fighting relegation, and he needs minutes. It's interesting. But I think we'll still be all right. It'd be interesting to see if they depends how he does, doesn't it? If he does well, they might be looking to sign him, or if he does really well, we might be looking, if we go out, might want to take him back. Who knows? But ultimately, a lot of it's to do with himself. He probably believes that he should be in the Luton team. He probably also believes that he's good enough for this level, potentially a level above, and look at the offers. So other teams see it, other clubs see it. We know he's decent, but obviously the signing of the lad from City's probably prompted that, made it easier as well, and made Melenik Ali go, right, well, you're bringing in, do you know what I mean, someone else like. So, yeah, it's interesting because, it's a Bloomfield signing, or was it an Edwards signing? I think it was a Bloomfield signing. So it's interesting to see that, they're looking to ship certain players out, but some of the ones we've recruited, they ain't been performing too well either. So, like Brown. Obviously, we haven't recruited him recently, but he's not been performing at all. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's not, mate. We've got not enough options there. We've got Archer in there, so we shouldn't be loaning him out now. In my opinion, I thought he looked excellent when he come on. He's got that pedigree to be playing in these lower divisions. Like, it makes sense to keep him to me. Loan him to who? Do you know what I mean? Back to Cheltenham? Or what? Like, just keep him. Have him in and around the squad. Put him on the bench. This, that, and the other. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to be looking out for him, when they play and stuff like that. So, see how he does. I would have thought, they'll be starting him. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what I think they'll do is I think they'll have him to the bench, and then if he comes on and makes an impact, I think it will then cement his place. Because one thing I do know, and a heavy reason why he has also gone to Portsmouth and why they were interested, is because a lot of their attackers are injured at the moment, and a lot of their vital ones that like for the season that have scored big goals at big moments. Obviously, I know they're down there, but in terms of like good wins they've got at home, and obviously, stuff like when they beat Charlton, one of their players is out. Like, for example, the guy that scored a winner in that game. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, to be honest, I don't mind that it's a championship club because, I wouldn't really want it to be like a League One rival. or even a team that's down there. Obviously, I know if it's a team down there, he couldn't play against us anyway, or even wherever. But still, it's one of them where let's see, because we can also see as well, because we felt like the way he come in last season, done what he done pre-season, obviously looked good. We felt he can definitely play in the championship. So hopefully now he can sort of show that. And I'm happy it's a loan, like I said the other day, because at the end of the day, at least we haven't sold him, because I still think there is a good player there. And I do feel like you say that, even though he has had, like, I guess you'd say a 6 out of 10 season, I think the recent games he did play under Wilshere, he actually done all right. So there is obviously a player there, but I think a lot of people's worry as well on that left hand side now is the experience. And I totally agree with you with Ethan Archer. I think we should be keeping him. But again, Wilshere said there's a possibility of a loan move again, which I don't understand for me. I mean, I thought he was good the other day, and you're leaving yourself with Lawrence and I guess Bramall. Yes, there's other players that can play there, but I want to have a know-how of having two good players in each position. And then obviously Kadoa's more of a right-sided. Like when I look at the right, I look at Kadoa, Morris, and Asaya Jones. In terms of that right midfield with the way we play right now. The left-hand side, I look at Lawrence and Archer right now. Obviously, there's players that can go there as well. But yeah, I just think maybe we need to go there. Obviously, there was the links yesterday. I don't know how true they were. That's why I didn't really touch on it because there was only one thing reporting it. But obviously, player that left Birmingham, the left winger, is actually Luton born. There was the links with him. He's 30, so he's quite experienced, and he did have a good season for Birmingham in League One last year. So I don't know, maybe it's that sort of thing. Because Lawrence is obviously, yes, we've got to use him because he is a lone player, but at the same time, maybe you need to get a bit of experience, or we'll just carry on playing Bramall higher up. I mean, there's other things that are a priority, but it all depends what we do with Bramall, like where we're looking to play him for me more so. Hopefully it's higher up because I do feel he can be beneficial there. I feel Johnson deserves to carry on to play for now. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, like you say, I'll be keeping an eye on him as well. Keeping an eye on Nordos's team as well, who I believe won yesterday, and I think he come on. So that's good to see. So yeah, we'll see what we see of that really. But yeah, going through some comments, got bad feeling about tomorrow. It's a very, very difficult game. I mean, we'll get into it, of course. Yes, I am, mate. Yes, I am. We have to be fast and confident in all areas to have a chance tomorrow. I feel, we got to start well. I mean, this is the type of game as well where, like, I have heard a lot of Lincoln fans say they would take a draw. And I think what benefits Lincoln as well is the fact Cardiff and Bradford, they're actually playing each other tomorrow. And that's a 12:30 kickoff. So by the time, our game's about to start, they'll obviously know the result. So, like, for me personally, I can't see Bradford winning. I can see them maybe getting a draw, but I think, that could benefit Lincoln, to be honest. And I have seen a lot of their fans, like say they would take a draw, but we need to start well. I mean, for me, we have to not be one-dimensional tomorrow in terms of the long balls up there because, we're never going to win them. I mean, we know what Sonny Bradley was like aerially. Up against probably Wells. I just can't see Wells winning a lot of battles if that is the situation. Thankfully for us, even though they've got good other attackers, Collins is injured. Obviously, it's quite a bad injury, so I hope he's has a speedy recovery as soon as possible on that. But he's obviously extended his contract there as well, so he'll be there next season, whatever league they're in. For me, it's probably going to be the Championship right now. So, yeah, we have to start well. Like, we have to start well, and we have to be on it because, if we're not, I feel this is the game where we can get punished. And we said it before we come on here, Dad. Lincoln are the type of team we want to be like. That physical team that get in your faces, and that's at least. Like, not only a title, we could all agree going into the season, that's at least where we should have been in that top two conversation. So, yeah, that's how I see it. Lots of injuries. There is actually no one that's back, which is a bit annoying, like at least one player. So it's literally the players that have been in and around the side the last few games that are going to be available tomorrow. And yeah, big up to yourself, Mick, mate. But yeah, the other thing I did want to talk about, now, obviously, we usually react to the games, but I thought there's no point reacting to the game today on Tuesday because there's a possibility we might return into the Virtue Trophy. Now, let's be honest. When we all initially lost that game, we were saying we deserved to lose it anyway. And we were saying, well, I was saying personally, I don't really want to pass into the league, like sort of like into the trophy, because we didn't deserve it. I mean, we weren't good enough in areas. I thought Swindon defended well the other night, but at the same time, we didn't do enough, really, especially in that second half when we're, trying to get an equaliser. But it's come out today that they've been charged with 2 alleged breaches of EFL regulations and EFL trophy rules. So the charges relate to the club fielding 2 ineligible players against Luton Town in Virtue Trophy. Obviously, they won, as we know. Oliver Clark, who was actually serving a 7-game suspension from the Football Association. In addition, the player, their top scorer, I believe, Aaron, who started the second half of the tie, was not named on the official team sheet. The 2 matters will now be considered by an independent disciplinary commission, as the sanction could include Swindon's removal from this season's Virtue Trophy and a reinstatement of Luton Town. The Virtue Trophy quarter-final on Saturday, 17th of January, will include both clubs while proceedings are ongoing. Now, I thought I'd leave it till now to talk on it, given that we're obviously doing the show today, doing it now, as we know. But my thoughts on it, I mean, let's just see what happens at a draw tomorrow. Apparently, I'll see this thing. I think they've got till the 22nd to actually, say their side of the situation. But I mean, there's a high possibility they could be out of it. Like I said, I mean, I don't really want to pass into it because, like I say, I don't feel we deserved it. But, the more news that's come out today, it's likely that we are going to get that pass into it. And also going into the quarterfinals, you still only get southern sides. So, it won't be any northern sides still yet, which I feel is a benefit because I feel the northern section, in terms of overall better teams, I feel they have the better side. But yeah, I mean, it's one of them where we don't really want to pass, but then, I don't know, it seems like it's going to happen, doesn't it, Dad?
Listen, I'll take a pass. At the end of the day, we should, when we went 1-0 up, we'll obviously get into the game if we're going to get into the game. And then from there, we should have went on to do the business, but we didn't. That was weird because I was just like, well, what's he talking to him about? Why is it? I said straight away, why has he got bits of paper out? And then obviously it come to light. Apparently they offered to take him off. Wilshere was like, no, just get on with it. And then there was rumours about the other player, but they were like, no, some people were like, it doesn't count for the Virtue Trophy, so that's fine. But he's got a 7-game ban for improper conduct. Do you know what I mean? Like a serious thing. So, it shouldn't be like, yeah, it's serious, but you can still play in a Virtue Trophy. I can't see that. They said that they looked on the portal was whatever, and it said this, that, and the other, but that could have been an administration error. They could get away with that, or they didn't do an extra step. But having 2 like that, I think that's what's going to mess them up. And yeah, I could see it happening. Especially, I don't know if it's a precedent, but the fact that we've been reinstated into the draw, I don't know if that's happened before with other ineligible player decisions and that. But yeah, right, we didn't, but if you get reinstated, you got to go on and fucking win it, I think. Do you know what I mean? So we'd be given a second chance. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But ultimately, we didn't do enough to win the game. They did make changes from their previous game, but they still had their best team out there, roughly. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, we'll get into it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of them anyway, they didn't play since the first of the new year. So they had a very long time anyway. And, they do, what I will say, they do have a good record against League One sides this year. I think they've won against 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 in terms of overall in all the competitions, obviously, the FA Cup and all that as well. So, we knew it's going to be a difficult game, but I totally agree. I mean, when we got that first goal, we should have really, not in terms of the scoreline, but we should have done what we done against Exeter in this competition. We should have been comfortable. And let's be honest, I mean, as much as I said, I don't think we've done enough ultimately in that second half. I feel there's a few shining lights like Archer when he come on and things like that. I mean, the goals we conceded. I mean, the first one, yeah, it's a good direction of where he's hit it. But at the same time, we got to be stopping the cross. And in the second goal, I mean, like I said the other day, I love Shea, but I think going forward, next season, we got to look at another option because when he has played this season, I know he was good against Exeter and he was good against Coventry in the cup despite losing that. Obviously, saved a free kick in that game, which was a very good save. He's not challenging Keeley for me. I mean, at the start of the season, funny enough, when we played Lincoln, the game going into Lincoln, I said Keeley, for me, should have been dropped for, going up for that game. But, the more I've seen Shea come in, he's not, I look at him and I just feel he's not going to compete. He's not going to, be challenging. We need a number 2 that's going to be challenging Keeley. That's what we need because I think sometimes as well, to be fair, Keeley's obviously been good recently, but there has been times throughout the season where he's come out and he's done things that are really risky. And you're sort of thinking, well, Shea's coming in and he's doing that type of thing now. And again, they might be being told to do that. But at the same time, there's just a massive element of risk. And I feel, we need someone who's a bit of a no-nonsense keeper, which Shea is most of the time. But yeah, I mean, it's his last year anyway. I just think we need someone who's going to be challenging him a little bit. And obviously, I put a short out on it yesterday. Few people agreed, few people disagreed, but all about opinions at the end of the day. And yeah, I just want to see a keeper that's not comfortable, in terms of, having his position. And I'm just not sure Shea's going to do that going forward. However, what I will say is if we do, obviously get back in the Virtue Trophy, which is looking highly likely, I'm happy to play him until the final. Play him in them games, let him have his moment at Wembley. Obviously, he has anyway. But in terms of actually being the goalkeeper, because he does deserve it. He's been with us all these years. So that's what I will say. But I just feel next season, especially with his contract coming up now, we've got to be looking elsewhere for me. So yeah, that's just how I see it personally. But yeah, in terms of the game, like I say, it was one of them where should have kicked on really, like we did in that Exeter game previous week.
We might as well just kick on with the player ratings because we all know how the game went. We can talk about it within the player ratings as well. So yeah, let's do that. So obviously Shea.
Yep. Go on. I'll let you start with Shea.
Not his greatest performance, but other people didn't play too well. But yeah, it wasn't. It didn't. We weren't confident with him, so I'll give him a 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. 5.5. Like I say, even moments he and again, like I say, I love Shea. I don't want to proper criticize him, but at the same time, even the start of the game, I know when he skilled up that player, but even then, back in the day, he would never do stuff like that for me. And like I say, the second goal, it was frustrating, man. He should be getting to that. And, I tried to defend him in the Cambridge game. And I know he weren't the only shocking player in that game. But even looking back, the wonder goal they got, as much as it was a great strike, his positioning was poor, I've got to be honest. But yeah, moving on to Walters. I mean, I thought he was all right. I mean, yes, he got a yellow card, which I was frustrated with. But other than that, I thought he was decent. And you know what? I'll say it now. Because he is a natural right back, I probably would start him tomorrow, to be honest. So, yeah, for me, I'm going to give him a 6.5.
I'll give him a 7. I thought he was quite lively. He gets a lot of criticism. I'm not too sure why. Do you know what I mean? None of them goals are necessarily his fault. He comes forward. He's good on the ball. He plays the right pass. And I think he will be getting more time because, for me, I think he's doing all right. So I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. I think he's doing all right. I agree. Especially when he goes forward. I think he's good at going forward. I just think it's quite similar to Johnson, really. I think they're both good at going forward. They just slightly need to work on their defensive game a little bit. But yeah, let me go through the comments. There's a lot of comments flying in. Harry says on the Ali thing, to be honest, looking at Ali's move now to Portsmouth in his defence, he probably thought he was on Luton's shining lights. Oh, he definitely was. And like I said, even when I spoke on it the other day, when we actually went down, in that West Brom game, he didn't deserve to be on the losing team. I mean, he scored some great goals that game. And yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. And that's why I don't mind it, because I think he is a player that can play in the Championship. And maybe he might be able to help Portsmouth stay up. I mean, if he does that, then at least he's done it with some team. Obviously, he'd rather it be us, but it wasn't his fault that final day. I mean, let's be honest. Bloomfield starting Bell. I mean, I know we're not Naismith's biggest fans right now, but he should have played that game last year. I mean, let's be honest, over Bell. And then playing Morris when he's half injured, so it wasn't down to Ali last year. But yeah, I agree, mate. I totally agree. Jackie says, I enjoyed seeing Archer, Fox, Lawrence, Gerald. Yeah,
Gavel.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know he's a good striker though. I think he's got like 33 goals this season at his level, which is crazy. But yeah, no, I got to agree with that. Obviously, we get into their ratings as well. Mick says I'm more bothered about league. Yeah, of course, we're all more bothered about it. I totally agree, mate. But yeah, I mean, if we can get far in this, then great. And I think there's a more chance we are in it than we're not in it, especially the fact they've put us back in it. It just like Luton, or I think we're going to be in it. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that draw tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. And by the way, Barnsley, I mean, fair play. That 5-0 don't look as bad. I know that it was 4-1 in the end, but that was not a 4-1 game. I mean, even Liverpool fans are saying that. So, yeah, he had a shocker though, didn't he? Shay 4 says Jackie. Jay's gone slightly lower, 3. Jeez, Mick says. Walters 6.5, I'd agree. Yeah, I think Walters is decent. 6.5. Honestly, we're getting to his performance. Moving on to Makoso. Now, I was disappointed with Makoso in this game. I've got to be honest. I mean, I was praising him very highly against Stevenage, given it was his first league game since Mansfield, and he looked really good. Obviously, he was a bit shaky at the start, but you expect that. I mean, but this game, I've got to be honest, disappointing. I mean, he had that moment, didn't he, where he was sort of dilly-dallying around, nearly conceded. I think he blocked it, but still, just stop messing around in the first place, and we wouldn't be in that situation. So, yeah, Makoso, I'm going 5.5.
Yeah, same. Like, he was booting out our play when he had more time on the ball. His passes were off. He just looked all over the place. It was mad, considering his previous game. But yeah, he weren't good at all. 5.5.
Yeah, exactly. Makoso was a 4 at best. Yeah, I mean, you're going lower, which is totally fair enough. Moving on to go over to Longwick. See, interesting one with him, because I think he was better than Makoso, but I don't feel he was much better. I've got to be honest. I don't know what it is. Other than for me, from memory, when he's played centre back, the only good game I can think of, in terms of the league, was Huddersfield. And he sort of had a point to prove because he weren't in the squad. I think we played Barnsley before that, wasn't it? And he weren't in the squad, and he weren't happy with that. But I don't know, games he does play better as a right back for me in some games. It's quite weird, given it's not his natural position. He can obviously play on the left. But yeah, I just don't know. Like I say, I think he was slightly better, but I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. It was average.
Yeah, no, literally. 5.5 says Jackie. Mick's gone 5 for Makoso. Longwick 5.5. Yeah, fair enough, mate. But yeah, one player that definitely deserves a shout out in this game was Fox. I thought he was our best player, to be quite honest with you, given that he's been in and around the first team in the trophy games, and obviously he has come on. But in terms of starting there, I mean, I thought he had a really good game, to be honest. Given his lack of experience, and it's sort of made Wilshere feel that we don't need a left back now, because obviously he sees Johnson, obviously there. He does see Naismith there, which most of us don't, but it's one of them. Bramall obviously there as well when he's not playing higher up, and now he sees Fox as a player that's, by the sounds of it, going to come through into the first team soon, like obviously Nelson has, Johnson has, etc. And like I say, he's been in the first team a few times. And yeah, I thought he had a really good game, to be quite honest with you. I thought his interceptions are really good in this game. And fair play to him. So I'll actually give him I'll give it a 7.
I'll give him 7.5 man of the match as well. For me, look composed, didn't look out of sorts. Yeah, it's a League Two team, but it's a good League Two team, and it's a team that's beat 4 League One teams previous to us. He looked good. He reminds me a little bit of Johnson. You can in certain ways, but he's so composed on the ball. Like, he made a couple of stray passes, but he more than made up for it. He's willing to go forward. I think at one moment he had a little run towards like shooting and that, and he passed it off. I wanted him to carry on and just, you know what I mean? I thought it was an excellent performance. Probably the best I've seen in a while from a player that's been given the opportunity. So I'm going to give him man of the match. Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, I can't remember if I said, but he's my man of the match as well. Totally agree with that. I feel he was really good. Like, given, he hasn't, he come in and start for a Johnson who's been on good form, but obviously needed a rest inevitably. So there's a big opportunity for him, and he's sort of like, made Wilshere think, because of the other options at left back as well, he could be another one in like other future games. Obviously not, regular week in, week out at this moment in time, but in terms of the future. So, yeah. Big up to Stephen. He says, big up, guys, cooking dinner, listening as usual. Big up to yourself, mate, for tuning in, as always. Longwick 5.5. Jackie says, Fox 7.5 did really well. Yeah, I totally agree. Foxy 7.5. Foxy, Mix has gone with a 7. And then moving on to, who should we start off with? We'll go over to Saville. I mean, I don't feel he had the worst of games. I don't know if he started many Virtue Trophy games. I think this might be like his first one, maybe Cambridge, possibly. But yeah, I mean, I thought he was all right. Obviously he's had a few shaky games, but I feel he was all right in this game. Obviously, he did come off. So I'll just give him I'll give him a 6. Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, same. Like, it wasn't majorly effective. He done the basics right, but sometimes you'd expect maybe someone like Saville to push the team forward, which he was a big part of that at Millwall. That's maybe what people's gripe is a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's Jackie's here.
Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't seem to have that, And I remember saying that when we signed him, like, yeah, great. Like, Millwall got that siege mentality, the underdog thing, and that a little bit. We're similar, and it hasn't quite worked out for that. But maybe maybe he can't do that because maybe there's too many egos, or maybe who knows? Do you know what I mean? But it's not. Well, he started off all right, didn't he, the season? But he has dwindled a little bit. Let's be honest. Like, not mistakes in that, but just stuff you'd more expect from him. So yeah, I'm just going to give him a 6.
Yeah, I mean,
Lamine, I'm going to give him a 5.5. I thought he weren't great in this game at all. Some of his passing and things like that weren't great. So together, they didn't really work at all.
Yeah, no, I agree. Lamine, I mean, similar to Nelson, obviously we're getting to Nelson, and even Yates. I mean, big opportunity for them guys, because at the end of the day, they are, yes, they're involved in the first team, but they're not, it could have been an opportunity for them to sort of cement a claim to start certain games in the league, but none of them warranted that for me. I mean, Lamine, I don't know what, I keep saying it now. Obviously, the recent games we've played him more defensive. We haven't been doing that the whole season. Someone tried telling me we have. No, we haven't. We've been playing him higher, and I look at it and I go, well, I don't know, man. Like, even though he is a CDM, it's a weird one. And this is why I feel we need another one, because we play him higher up predominantly. And when we've played him deeper, he hasn't been as effective. I mean, you look at the Huddersfield game, for example, in that game, that second half. I mean, he was brilliant. He was our best player by far in that second half. And that was because he was making things happen. He was taking on the shot, which obviously led to the second goal. And he was just getting on the ball. He was running at players, making things happen. I just feel in that role, I just don't feel it works with him. When someone else is there, maybe it could work individually. But I just feel when he's got someone alongside him, it just doesn't work for whatever reason. So yeah, we'll probably stick with it though. We'll probably stick with that formation, and I expect to probably still see him there. So yeah, it's one of them. Mick says Savile 5. So does Jay. Fantastic, Mr. Fox. Oh my days. I'm guessing that's on Savile. Lamine 5. Lamine 5 as well. Morris. See, the thing is with Morris, right? There was a lot of times in the games the passes weren't great to him. But then I feel there was a moment. Who played the ball across? I think it was Lawrence shortly after he scored. Played the ball across. Great pass over to Morris. And he just didn't have the touch that he would have wanted to have. And it sort of reminded me, obviously, I know he's been miles better than Yates, but it reminded me of Yates against Leighton Orient, where his position is just way off when Brown played the ball across. And yeah, I mean, I have seen better games from Morris, and yeah, it wasn't a great game. It wasn't as bad as like a few others, but yeah, I'm just gonna give him a 6.
I'll give him 6.5. I thought he was average, yeah. Another start. Like I said, maybe he's better as an impact player. He did have a good shot at one point, but yeah, it's sort of, I don't know, it could be the midfield that he's working with. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah, yeah, and Wilshere said earlier on him, like, obviously he's got that track record of being an impact player, like I say, but he said he does want to see him start more, but I don't expect that tomorrow because the fact Kadoa's fully been rested, it just wouldn't make sense to me. But yeah, I don't mind it in certain games, like the lower teams, it could work. But I just feel when we're playing the better sides, for example, like Lincoln, and they're getting a bit fatigued in terms of like towards the end of the game, bring on Morris, man, just to cause havoc. I mean, the amount of games we've watched that and he's come on and like we've won corners and we've like started to dominate the game a little bit. Like, I just feel he can be good for that, especially with the form Kadoa's on. You have to start him, and Kadoa's showing he can get early goals now. Towards the start of the season, he was just getting late goals, which was brilliant. But now he's showing he can do it at the start as well. So they should just be like for like changes throughout the season for me. For now with them available anyway. So that's how I see it. Morris 5 says Mick. Morris 7, he does try. Yeah, absolutely. And he was trying. It was like the Exeter game. I didn't think he had a great game there, but he's still trying to make things happen. It's not like he's not being, like sometimes like the strikers, they're just nowhere to be seen. I mean, how many times have we watched a half and we've been like, they've been anonymous? He is still getting involved. It's just sometimes he'll take that extra touch or the touch won't be great and things like that. But he's still definitely been one of our better players despite all that. But yeah, moving on we'll go over to Nelson again. Like I say, big opportunity for him in this game. He weren't effective at all. And like I've said loads of times personally, I think we should be loaning him out personally. We've done it with other, youth players. I know he's been in the team a bit more, but we're saying we need a Cam. Obviously we've got Clark, we've got Richards there. Obviously there's other players that can play there as well. But, I just think if we do go out and get one, whether we do or not, yeah, I just don't see where Nelson's going to come in regularly, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I was disappointed with him, to be honest. And I have been. I've got to be honest. I have been. He's been around the team long enough now. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 5.5.
I'll give him a 6. Just average. Yeah, good opportunity for him. I think we discussed it before. He was picked up by Edwards, and we'd seen good. He scored that goal against QPR. Do you know what I mean? Looked good in some games, but as soon as Wilshere's come along, that's where he seems to he's gone backwards for me. I don't know if he's ruined his confidence or what. Because I think he said, "Oh, he's one for the future." I'm thinking, well, he's been in and around the team,
And that was when Richards was coming in.
Yeah, as well. So it could be a bit of that, but yeah, I agree. Like if you're loaning out Milenic Ali, and you surely should be loaning out Nelson as well. For me, but yeah, I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, exactly. And I know like in comparison, Nelson's a bit of a different player to Brown in terms of Nelson's obviously younger. He's still got a lot, but like it's similar in ways in terms of like there's only been a few moments they've done. Do you know what I mean? Ultimately, it hasn't been enough, and I just think he needs a loan move out to someone and then come through. I mean, you look at Phillips. Obviously, I know Nelson's been in a team. Obviously, more in terms of the first team, but like we've loaned him out. We can do it with Nelson. Maybe not to that level, but in terms of like this league or maybe lower League Two, high end League Two, we can do that. And I think we should be looking at that, to be honest. So that's just how I see it. Jackie says Zach 5. Yeah, fair enough. So does Mick as well. Moving on to Lawrence. I thought Lawrence was really good at the start of the game. I thought he was our best player by far in them, opening minutes. Obviously, done really well to earn the penalty. Obviously, 3 players on him. Um, and he done really well to obviously get it. And I thought he was all right after that. But again, similar to his first game, because of his inexperience, I think it caught up with him a little bit. So obviously, he come off when he did, and plus he should have anyway because we wanted to see Archer. Given that he hasn't obviously played for us yet, so yeah, I thought he was decent, Lawrence. To be fair, so I'll give him. Do you know what? I'll give him a 6.5.
I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he was really good. Like you say, he showed that quality. He did show that Premier League quality where he turned and then run back in the box from the edge of the box and earned the penalty. And was making some good runs, trying to get the crosses in on that. So I think the way we're easing him in, he has got that ability and non-fear, and it got us our goal ultimately. So I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, he was good. Jackie's gone 7.5 as well. Enjoyed watching him. Thought he done really well. Yeah, he did. He did for sure. Mick says 7. Moving on to Yates. I mean, yes, he scored, but let's be honest, very lucky penalty. And again, I mean, I thought after he scored, you could tell he was confident. But I've got to be honest. I mean, the second half so anonymous, and that's the problem with the strikers. Like they'll do some good bits. I know they're not scoring, which is what we want to see, but they'll do some good bits, and then they'll just be nowhere to be seen in a half. I mean, a lot. Him and Wells throughout the season. There's been a lot of times where the first half, in particular, they've been anonymous, and yeah, I mean, even though he scored the goal, it wasn't a great penalty. At least he scored, but ultimately after that, just didn't do enough for me. I mean, this was the type of game where I want him to score 1 or 2, to hopefully build on. But yeah, I mean, even though he scored, it just wasn't a great game from him still. So yeah, I'll just give him, because he did score, I'll give him a 6, just average. Yates.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm going to say it now. The problem is, we know it anyway. Playing one up front with these type of guys, it's just not working. It's never going to work. And then the thing is, when he does get opportunities, or when they do get opportunities, they're snatching at them because they were like, I want to score, I need to score, I need to score. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and that's part of the problem for me. You've got to be putting 2 up front on occasion, or putting one of them as a cat. I don't know. Like what I do think when El Hamadi comes in, surely he goes up there and he's got a bit more pace, etc. So it might change things. But with these guys, it's just not working. We tried it with Brown as well, and they'll just snatch at opportunities. We might as well forget about a striker at the moment, for me, because it's everyone else who does the business. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, I'll totally agree. I mean, the way we don't play with him helps at all. Like we've said loads of times. I mean, Yates is never going to win the ball aerially. He's not a player that does that. Same with Wells. Like I say, I always go back to his time at Blackpool, for example. He was flipping. He was getting in the box, like ball to the feet. Do you know what I mean? Scoring them type of goals. He's just, yeah. I mean, surely, like you say, when El Hamadi's back, we have to play 2 up front. I mean, even now we should be playing it. We've got enough strikers, available in the squads. Obviously, I know we don't rate Brown highly, but like you look at you know, you look at obviously them two, like Yates and Wells and him. Why can't you play like two? Why can't you play two and then, you know, Brown off the bench or whatever? I know we don't rate Brown, but we have got enough striker options to be doing it, you know. And even when we had less strikers, obviously I know it was under Edwards, but like, well, even Bloomfield, to be honest, you know, Morris and Elijah, we were still playing two. No, they were the only really ones. Obviously, we had Taylor for a bit and that, but we just never really utilised him. Like we were doing it with less strikers, and you got to think as well. Even though we don't do it, our wingers like Kadoa is actually a striker, so you've got more options as well if you really wanted to change it. So yeah, it's frustrating, you know. But like I've said, the main thing that annoys me with them two, and particularly Yates, because I'd probably say Yates has done it more this year, is when he has the chances, it's ultimately just not taking them. And that's the frustrating thing. Like when he's 1-on-1, I can, you know, I can understand the criticism. But in terms of like in the games when we're trying to lump it up, they're just never going to win it. I mean, we shouldn't have that expectation for them to win it, but it's when they have them chance, like Yates' two chances against Northampton, his chance against Stevenage. Do you know what I mean? Them, they're the things I get annoyed with. Jackie's on 4. He's awful. And then agrees with you on talking on Yates and that, which I totally do as well. But yeah, moving on to the subs. Right, who do we start off with here? We'll start off with Nakamba. If I'm being totally honest, like you said on the watch along, Dad, I don't know why he's still here, to be honest. I've been saying that for time, and I don't blame him himself. I believe he wants to play, but ultimately, we just don't want to use him. So just stop having him in the team, especially in this competition. We only ever have him in this competition. He probably, well, we're going to probably progress in the Virtue Trophy. I was about to say he probably won't play again this year, but he probably will in that. But like, other than that, he just ain't going to feature unless we get a hefty amount of injuries. It's just pointless. You know, he is a CDM. You know, there was decent passes from him, but then there was shocking passes out wide. I mean, fucking hospital passes, and there's no excuses for me. I mean, he's a player that, you know, played with us in the Premier League. Obviously, it was a massive part of us going to the Premier League. You know, you can't even string a pass around in against a good League Two side, but still a League Two side. What are you doing, man? And he played recently. I don't care if he's in a different continent. He still played, so it's not like he's rusty. So yeah, he was poor for me. I've got to be honest. I'm giving him a 5.5.
Yeah, I agree. Like there was a couple of nice passes initially, but then it went tits up. You know what I mean? And we was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Could have been more, etc., etc. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. 5.5. Yeah, we agree with you. Archer, thought he done really well when he come on. 2 good crosses into the box. Probably should have scored from one, to be honest. And then got us for free kick in a very good position, which I don't understand why Nelson was taking it. I'd actually rather, even though I've never seen him on free kicks, I'd rather Fox took it, to be honest, in that position, you know, left-footed and that. But didn't happen. But yeah, I thought Archer, I thought, and I said it at the time, even though he didn't score or assist, I thought he warranted an opportunity to stay here, to be honest. But I don't know. From what Wilshere said, it sounds like it's going to be loaned out, which I can't agree with. I mean, you've got to be getting a left winger then, or left midfielder for me, because that's just Lawrence. Yeah, I know Kadoa and that could play there, Bramall, but you've got to have someone who's natural on that side for me. You know, we can't be putting all our eggs in a basket on Lawrence, in my opinion. Even though he is showing good signs, he's still got a lot to learn. So, yeah, for me, I mean, I'd give Archer a 7, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. He looked dangerous. Bit like when Morris first come on for us that time. Very, very similar. You know, Nick should have got an assist. Just looked lively. So yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't. I already said it before anyway. He should come straight into the squad. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Exactly. 7 good cameo. That says Jackie. Obviously Nakamba 5. Yeah, can't blame you, Mick, mate. Cannot blame you. And then obviously the Polish lad come on. You know, was trying to get involved, but I'll probably just give him a 6, to be honest.
Yeah. You know, he's only 17, I believe.
You was gas when he come on.
Yeah. second Polish player to start for us, other than Fojet, I think it was. Who was defender. He was a good player as well. You could say Kaminski is half Polish, but but yeah, no, it's good to see. And like he was getting into pockets of space. He was running into areas. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, just bring him in and around. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to start, Richards when he's 17, 18, like this guy scored 30 goals and that. Do you know what I mean? They're not tap-ins, are they? He's obviously earning that. Apparently, he scored a really good overhead kick. I haven't seen it, but I heard about it against Watford. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I've seen that.
He's a fighter. I put him on the bench, man. But yeah, I'll give him 6.
To be fair, it'd probably be more effective than the Yates and Wells, so I can't blame you, to be honest. But no, from what Wilshere said, it sounds like in the future, like Fox and him, they're going to get like opportunities, like in terms of actually being in the squads more. I mean, it looks like we'll go through in Virtue Trophy. I'm saying it. The fact we're back in the draw tells me we are going to be through. So maybe they could play that if we get a home tie. Well, I don't know. Maybe it depends who we get, to be honest. I think we can get Wimbledon, Plymouth. I can't remember the other team, I'll be honest. But yeah, they're the teams we can get. So I'd like another home tie personally, and then give them another opportunity at some point in that game. That's what I would be doing. And to be fair, if Johnson carries on the form he's been on, which has been decent throughout the league, start Fox again in the next round. To be honest, if we're at home, maybe away you might need to change it, but yeah. He looks okay as well. 6 says Jackie. Yep, totally agree. So yeah, that's that when it comes to that. But yeah, man of the match. I mean, Fox got 2 votes from us. Who would have said that at the start of the season? It's a fair play to him. He's actually got. See, this says a lot about our team, right? And this is our opinions. But again, this is. I mean, he's already got the same amount as Nelson. He's already got the same amount as Naismith. I'm not really going to count Clark because Clark's been injured. He's got the same as Wells, and he's got the same as Makose. So that tells you a lot. And I'm not going to count Jones because he's been injured as well. So that says a lot, doesn't it? Really. Steven says, well, that brings back memories. He was on Fulham's books back then. Yeah, I mean, I can't really comment, to be honest. But yeah, that's that on that. Yeah, I'll start Fox, says Jackie. Yeah, I think if we're at home, say, for example, we're at home against, like, Wimbledon, then, yeah, I would do that, to be honest. But I think we will rotate because around about that period, we've got some difficult games when that's actually meant to be on. I don't know the order. I'm just going to double-check it. But we got Cardiff away. And, yeah, so it's in between the period where we play Bradford at home, which again, it's a very similar game to tomorrow in terms of like similar positions in terms of Lincoln and Bradford. So we expect a similar sort of game right now. And then Cardiff away, and I think it's during that period of the week, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, this is tough. So I do expect rotation, is what I'm trying to say for that. But yeah, that's that when it comes to that. So yeah, it looks like it probably will go through in it. Like you said, Dad, let's go and try and win it then. You know what I mean? And like I say, I think the thing that does help us is the northern section is much harder than the southern section in terms of getting as far as possible, I'd say. Overall, there's better squads in the northern section, I'd say, and better teams. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, in terms of the game tomorrow, obviously we're taking on Lincoln, as we know. High-flying Lincoln, doing very well this season, I'll be honest. Didn't expect them to do this well. I don't think many people could say they did, to be honest, even their own fans. Obviously got experience, Sonny Bradley, obviously got other players chipping in and things. And obviously they're quite good at bringing players through as well. Obviously, McMahon, who's not at a team anymore, he's at Norwich, scored a few goals for Norwich, despite the position they're in. They can bring through good players as well, young players and things like that. So, yeah, obviously last time we went there, shocking, absolutely shocking. I actually predicted we'd lose that game. So I knew it was coming anyway. It was, the poor form under Bloomfield. It was the game after the Plymouth game, I believe, where we were shocking individual errors. So yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a very difficult game. Like I said earlier, there isn't few of their fans, well, most of their fans, from what I'm seeing, saying they would be happy to take a draw. I think a lot of that is down to probably them basing it on the fact of where we were 2 years ago, because everyone loves to do that. And our home form has picked up at the same time. To be honest, if this was away, I wouldn't think we'd win the game. I'll be honest, but the fact it is at home, maybe we can get something. But again, like we have in a lot of the home games we have won, we have to start off well. I mean, because they're going to be a physical side, we can't be utilising the long balls too much. We've got to change it up. We've got to pass it out wide. We've got to play through the middle. Because if we play it long, I mean, Naki Wells is going to start up front. We know that. Sonny Bradley and the others, they're just going to deal with him, man. I'm sorry, they are. So we have to change it up. And we are going to play like it, but I don't want to see us sitting on the ball for too long at the back, because I feel they have got the players that will haunt us, to be honest, and hurt us. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. They're literally, like we said earlier, that they're a team we would like to be like in terms of the physical, presence in the position they're in. That's where we'd love to be, but it ain't going to happen this season. We got to look to aim for the playoffs. I don't think we're getting any higher than that, like I said. So yeah, man. I mean, it's a very difficult game, isn't it, Dad?
Yeah, I think they've obviously got the battle. They're probably going to be the hardest team to battle against, which is going to be a problem for us because we've only just started battling with teams, trying to win the second balls, etc. But I think this team's really good at it. Apparently, they've got 6 players out. We've got players out as well. So, but they've still got a solid base. They've got Bradley there telling them exactly how to be at Luton, this, that, and the other. Did he play in the last game?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Collins,
he nearly scored as well. Yeah, he nearly scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he's put it over. He should have scored, to be honest.
He's going to be on it. They're going to be on it, regardless of injuries. Luckily for us, we rested our better players. So I think it's going to be tight, but I think if we're looking to progress in that, this is another game that we've got to be looking at and going, well, we've got to win it. Do you know what I mean? So let's continue the home form, and I think we'll get something.
Yeah, I mean, we need to really.
It's their away record is they lost to Rotherham. I think they lost to Wickham.
Got battered as well.
3 goals in both of them games. So they obviously must panic a little bit when they're away. So we've got that as well. If we can dominate like the wings, and we need to put more crosses in the box, and the corner routine needs to switch it up as well. And I think Walsh probably starts for me in this game. I think you need a lot of creativity.
I think the fact he got rested tells you he's going to start.
Yeah, up front, whatever. Like it doesn't matter really, does it? So yeah, I think we can do it. And like I said before, it's the business end of the season. This will probably put us in the playoffs ahead of the Plymouth game. And there's always certain games up top that Lincoln, if they win, they can go top. Apparently, like things like that. There's a pressure there as well for them. But with us, we just got to keep it. Just start off the way we did. Play with that confidence. Give it to the flair players, put them under pressure, and I think if we score early, we could definitely win the game.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the table now, like I say, obviously Cardiff played Bradford, and that's at 12:30. So Lincoln will know the result by then. And as much as I said earlier, they know a result by then. There could be a little bit of pressure for them to get something, especially if Bradford did get a win, for example. Then there is pressure on Lincoln. Because Bradford would go above them. But if Bradford draw, then Lincoln are still above them. They can be a point behind Cardiff if Cardiff lost. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting one. I think we've got to have eyes on that game. Not that we're going to catch Bradford or Cardiff for me, but in terms of like just seeing it and then having a basis of maybe what Lincoln will try and do. Because I think, like, for example, if Bradford don't win that game, I think Lincoln might try and approach this game in terms of like be happy with a point. Personally, I've seen a lot of their fans say they would take a point, especially of our home form. So that's why I say that. But for example, if Bradford win, then Lincoln are going to go for it. So we've definitely got to keep an eye on that game, man. I mean, from our end, and like I say, we're not catching them teams in terms of the league. For me, them three, we've got to be looking at, anywhere from fourth down to sixth. They're the teams for me. Any of them places. That's where we got to be looking. For me personally. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, a few comments. They are not even missing Collins. No, they're not, mate. I believe it's Hackett. I think his name is. He's scoring a lot of goals for him. So yeah, I totally agree. Mixed one here because when we got rid of him, I was happy when we got rid of him because the way we were trying to play it wasn't, he wasn't a player that benefits that. But in terms of that leader that actually is a leader and actually shows elements of being a leader, unlike Naismith this season, yes, I probably would, to be honest, in a way. And, he was a proper captain for us. Obviously, he didn't really play much the year we went up in terms of like, starting loads and loads. But, he still obviously lifted the trophy and all that. So, yeah, I'm 50-50. With the way we played, no. But the way we play now, we probably still wouldn't suit it because the way we play, pass around the back and all that. But in terms of that leadership and that experience, then yeah, I mean, with all due respect, when we sold him, I thought he was a player that like he would do well for a League One club and not like this well in terms of like he could go back to the Championship. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, in the experience element, yes, but in terms of the way we want to play, it wouldn't really suit him. Jackie says, we have rested players this week. I think we can do it. Yeah, we can definitely do it. We have to just start well for me. Big up to Steve, obviously West Ham fan, says, evening lads, big up to yourself, mate. Hope you're well. I hope we have a good lineup. Well, we're going to get into the lineup now. So this is my lineup for the game. And if there's anything you would change up or anything like that, Dad and you guys in the chat, do let me know. But yeah, I've obviously made it realistic like I have the last few weeks in terms of the formation and things like that. So yeah, this is my lineup for this game. So Keeley back in goal. Hopefully he has a better game than he did in the reverse fixture. I mean, that third goal. I know the game was technically done at 2-1, but that third goal, I mean, that was poor. We got to be honest. So yeah, I would actually start Walters in this game. And I know Longwick's actually had not bad games in right back, but it's like I said loads of times, when we played a better opposition, I feel we can be exposed because it's not natural to him. So I would actually go with Walters. I don't think he's been too bad. Even when we lost against Exeter, I know Lincoln obviously much better team, but when we lost to Exeter, I thought Walters was one of the better players for it. Well, in fact, we said at the time he was the best player for us in our opinions. So yeah, I would have, I'd have him in this game, natural right back. Johnson on the left, obviously he got rested the other night in terms of, not starting. So it makes sense for me with the form he's been on. Obviously needs to work on his defensive game a little bit, but I think going forward, that is the, that is the thing. Anderson and Makoso. Obviously, Anderson rested the other day. It makes sense for me. He's been on all right form, to be fair to him. Makoso, yes, I know he wasn't great the other day. You could maybe put Longwick there, but at the same time, I don't think Anderson and Makoso have been bad when they've played together as centre-backs. So, yeah, that's that. Lamine and Walsh. Obviously, Saville and Walsh doesn't work as well as we'd like to see it. I know I said what I said about Lamine earlier, but then you know, we've seen that Lamine and Walsh works a bit better than Walsh and Saville. So that's why I've gone with that. You could put Lawrence on the left, but I've gone with Bramall, bit of experience. Given Lawrence played the game the other day as well, I'd bring him on in this game. Kadoa, he's got to start. You know, he's been rested, so it makes sense. Same with Jordan Clark, captain, obviously. And then it's going to be Wells up front. So, yeah, that's my lineup for this game. I don't know. Jamie is talking to me then. Keeley in goal. This is Harry's. Walters, right back. Makoso, Mengi, if fit. Apparently he's not fit, mate. That's why I haven't put him in. Otherwise, I would have put him and Anderson. Bramall, yeah, fair enough. So you go Bramall left back, fair enough. Lamine, Walsh, yeah. Lawrence on the left, Clark in the middle, Kadoa on the right, Wells up front. Yeah, so similar in ways. Obviously, a few changes. But yeah, like I say, Mengi is injured. Annoyingly. Well, injured. Is that just come out now, Jackie? Or yeah, do let me know. Longwick instead of Mengi, says Harry. Yeah, okay, fair enough. It just goes back to what I said earlier. Like, other than the Huddersfield game in the league, when he's played centre back, he hasn't been great for me. And also, I do feel in this game, as much like, say for example, Walters ain't having a great game in right back, you know, or he's getting exposed. You know, it's a situation for me where you can put Longwick there, even though I don't really want to see it. And this is why I feel we need to get a right back, another one. But yeah, I'd put Walters in this game because he's a natural right back. Do you know what I mean? And I said it with Longwick. I feel when we play the better sides, it can be exposed. And also with Longwick as well. Like, there's games like Reading where his passing's great, you know, but then there's moments like, who was it? The recent game, Stevenage. I mean, his passing on the ground was awful. So I'd go with Walters. Like I say, him and Johnson, they need to work on their defensive game a little bit, but I feel Johnson in particular has been on pretty decent form, so he definitely deserves to start this game. So that's my lineup. Any changes you'd make to that lineup, Dad?
No, possibly, like I say, maybe other, you know, put Longwick in there with Anderson. I'm just basing it off of Makoso's last game against poor opposition. You know what I mean? And the fact that he hasn't played a lot of games, and we're playing, you know, a top tier team. Yeah, Walsh definitely starting, Clark definitely starting, Kadoa definitely starting, Wells, like I say, up front. Bramall, Lawrence, that's interesting. I'd be tempted to put Archer there, but Bramall, I think, you know, he's been rested a little bit. He put in some really good performances before that, so yeah, makes sense. Lamine, if he's a little bit more allowed to go forward and link up with Clark and that, because generally Walsh does play more defensively, then yeah, I'm up for that. But yeah, definitely Keeley back in goal, Johnson, and yeah, I agree with Walters as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. Big game for Walsh though. You know, it's another game where he's got to be consistent at home. You know, and this is against a really good side, like a physical side. So he needs to like show why he will be able to play there against better sides for me. So yeah. Harry says, just thought the defence looked poor first half against Stevenage. Oh yeah, it totally was, mate. You know, they should have scored really. Great save from Keeley. Makoso with a vital block, or a clearance, shall I say. Yeah, no, I totally agree, mate. Yeah, okay. Apparently, breaking news, right? So I put a little clip out on TikTok earlier of Wilshere talking on Brown. And apparently, Jackie said it here. Where was it? Brown's allowed to leave. And then Harry's telling me Jack Wilshere said he can just leave, just saw on Twitter. I'm going to have a little look at that. I believe you guys, because he hasn't been in the squad in terms of like the recent games.
That's what he wanted anyway.
Yeah, totally.
But he commands a transfer fee. So, you know, someone's got to pay money for him. Unless it's a loan to buy. But, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's basically from the comments of his presser, which I did actually put on TikTok. Make sure you follow me on that. Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter, like you have, Harry, mate. So yeah, this is basically what he said. Long story short, there's more to it, but this is like the main bit. It goes back to my point of how many nines can you have on the bench, and this is also what I said to you, Dad, beforehand. We tried Jacob on the wing, but I can see he's a number 9, so it might be something we're open to. And also, he said a similar thing with what he said with Ali as well. I don't know if any of you guys watched it, but he said he needs football, right? He said the same thing with Ali and then loaned him out. So, yeah, I'd be happy with that. I mean, he hasn't done anything. Ultimately, he scored a couple of goals, but ultimately he hasn't done enough at his football club. And he's a high-wage earner. Do I think he can play in the Championship? I do. I do. Not for a high-end team, but I do think he can play at least where Ali is, maybe a bit higher. There was the links of Bristol City. Apparently, he went there medical, whether that's true or not. I mean, maybe he could get in their side, but either way, I'd like him off the books now in terms of like not even thinking about him in the squad. And he hasn't been good enough. Like I said, he's had a few chances, but ultimately not enough in terms of like stuff he's done. And yeah, it's one of them where he's not. If you can't play your main position, like I say, then we try you out wide, you can't even play there. Then I just don't. I don't see the point anymore. To be honest, LTFC News is where you saw it. Yeah, fair enough. I've seen it. So yeah, if he's not in the lineup tomorrow, which he shouldn't be, that tells me he's definitely on the way out. And it'll be interesting to see where he goes. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes Championship. So yeah. Big up to M1. He says, when I heard Swindon could be kicked out fielding eligible player, Yates. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think he can play low end Championship. I do. I think he's a bit like Morris, where he just needs a new move. I'm not saying he can play like high end Championship, but I think he can play low end. I do. Because like Stoke fans, right? It was very mixed, but a lot of them were gutted to see him go. Like quite a few of them. And he did have moments in the Prem, but like I say, that's it. I mean, you should be cutting it in the lower leagues, and he didn't, mate. So yeah, that's how I see it. Imagine. But yeah, that's that when it comes to that. So yeah, that's a bit of breaking news. So yeah, don't expect him to be in the lineup tomorrow. So yeah, obviously there'll be a T-Boy discusses when that comes out of where he's going to go. Probably, well, I'd expect tomorrow, to be honest, or Sunday. So might even know by then with the games coming up and that. But yeah, I mean, score predictions, Dad. Right, how are we seeing this game? Very difficult game against second high-flying Lincoln.
I think it'll be similar to the Stevenage game, where they'll like put pressure on us. They're better than Stevenage, so it'll be a bit harder. But I think that certain players having a rest will put us in a good position. And I think we'll probably score first, then slack off a little bit, or they'll rally, equalise. But I think we'll get a last minute goal. So I'm going to go over 2-1 Luton win.
Last minute limbs, possibly. My score prediction for this game. Yeah, I mean, they're on good away form in terms of the whole season. They're 4th on away form, so they're just underneath Stevenage. We did manage to beat Stevenage. We're obviously 3rd in terms of away form. As for me, I think Lincoln are a much better side, though, personally. Yes, they play similar, but I think Lincoln are miles better. I mean, the table already shows that. Stevenage slipping away a little bit. So, for me, I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. I think it could be similar to when we played Bolton. And I believe them two sides did play at Bolton this year, and it was 1-1. So, I think it can be similar, because I think us and Bolton are similar. Obviously, not far off each other in terms of the league as well. So, I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. Which I would take if we were then to go on and beat Plymouth. We have to beat Plymouth. I know we've got an awful record against them, but we have to beat them, man. Well, from memory anyway, like recent games is poor. Obviously, last year went there, lost 3-1. Shocking. And they obviously lost early on in the season, drew to them at Kenilworth Road last year. So we need to be beating them, especially this year. I mean, but we'll get into that obviously next week and that. But yeah, that's how I see it. I'd be gutted I won't be gutted to see Yates go. Bloody hell. If I said I would, you wouldn't have liked that, Nick. Bloody hell, I nearly said would. Yeah, no. The thing is, though, we just because we've just got him, it's unlikely, unfortunately. But hopefully we show a bit of balls in the summer if we don't go up and get rid of these fucking players that are useless. I'm sorry, I've had enough of him now. The chances are just not good enough. That's the thing that annoys me. You know, I know we're not playing to his strengths, but at the same time, you're a striker. You're meant to be scoring, you know, just about scoring a penalty, which 9 times out of 10 is 50-50 in terms of will you score or not. It's just fucking awful. Oh, Harry, jeez. 3-0 to Lincoln. Oh, mate, that would not be good. Mad prediction, possibly. I know so many two cracks in Stevenage game where they didn't capitalise, whereas Lincoln will. Yeah, I agree. Lincoln definitely will. It would be a serious wake-up call, in my opinion. One thing I will say that is a bit of positive stuff at us is we've actually only lost one game at home under Wiltshire, and that was the first game against Mansfield, which was a poor game, by the way. But that's what I will say. So we, you know, maybe that's why I do back us to get something. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we narrowly lost, personally. But yeah, we'll see. 2-1. Paul's gone 2-1. Is that 1 for us or is that 2 for us? Do let me know. Yeah, apparently he's injured, mate. But I think he's on the way out, personally. 2-1 to Lincoln, unfortunately. Yeah, fair enough, Mick. Can't blame you, mate, to be honest. Jamie's saying 2-all. So she's gone for goals galore. Which, to be fair, they are against Lincoln. I mean, you think of the last game, 4-2 under Nathan Jones. You think of the game earlier on in the season, even though we lost, it's 3-1. So there's 4 goals in that game. So it could be a high-scoring one. But, yeah, 1-all for me, 2-1 for you. Your goal scorers, Dad?
I'm going to go Kadua and Wells.
Okay. That's Wells to score. Jeez. Me, I'm going to go with Jeremy saying Clark and Kadoa. For me, I'm going to go. Who am I going to go with? Oh, it's Jordan Clark. I'll go Jordan Clark and Jordan Clark or Kadoa. I mean, who else is it most likely going to be? Maybe Lawrence if he starts. But yeah, other than that, I can't see many at the moment, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully we don't give Sonny Bradley a good opportunity though, because this time I've got a feeling he'll score. Expect him to get a good reception. Obviously, him and Collins got applause from the away fans in the reverse game. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him belt out the Sonny Bradley chant, to be honest, at the end when he's coming back out. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. M1 says Lincoln are a tough physical team and I can see them battering us. See M1 saying it as well. We aren't tough enough, so Lincoln to win 4-1. 4-1. I mean, I can't blame you, mate, in terms of the loss. Yeah, this is why I say, like, it's a big game for Walsh, right? Because that's not his natural position. But he has played well there in terms of the home games, like, recently. So it's a big game for him, man. I mean, their physical side, like we said, like you said there, you know, he has to show why he can play. Because if he has a stinker that game, I'll be honest, we need to get a CDM ASAP. Because people have their doubts about Saville. Nakamba's just no point talking about him unless it's the Virtue Trophy. We don't know what we're doing with Lamine. I actually think he's shown that he's better higher up. Who else is there? You know, we've seen Clark play there and it just doesn't work for him. So, yeah, that's why I say we need to get one. And it won't be Ebou Adams because he's going to Portsmouth. So we need to be on the look for someone else. So, yeah, it's big. But on the transfer news quickly as well, which some people might not like to hear. So, a reporter asked Wilshere earlier, can we expect to see any incomings or outgoings relatively soon? I do like his honesty, but it is a bit worrying. He said, honestly, no, we're not really close to anything. We've obviously got a list and targets that we want, but we're not close to anything. Now, there's a lot of positions we need. I mean, we've got 2 weeks left, but, you know, you don't want it to get to a stage like the Premier League, for example, where we're like scattering around. I mean, the last January window wasn't bad, but I just think because how long we had Rob Edwards for, that's what failed us in the end. But yeah, I mean, would you make an M comment, Stud, quickly?
I read them like, you know, there's still quite a few days to go. You know, a couple of weeks. You know, you don't have to. He said that we're looking for not just to snatch players up, we're looking for players that we're going to keep in the summer. Do you know what I mean? And improve the squad, etc. So, and that, obviously that get a little bit harder to do, but you know, I still think we'll end up, you know, before the end of the window, at least 2 or 3 more players. So it doesn't bother me that much. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of sides that haven't signed anyone yet. So yeah.
I just hope we address where I think we need to mainly. I mean, there's obviously been the conversations about a striker. I think if we get a striker, it'll be on loan. It wouldn't make sense to, especially the amount of strikers we've got. I know people don't rate Yates and Wells, but we got to be a bit realistic here. They're not going to go now. Maybe in the summer, 1 or 2 of them. Probably more so Yates, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. But in terms of, you know, you've obviously got Elijah and El Hamady coming back. I don't want to put all my eggs in a basket for them. So that's why I'd like us to go out and get someone on loan. But I just don't know if we'll do it. To be honest, I think we are waiting for them guys. But like for me, we need a right back, CDM, maybe a Cam. They're like the main ones, but more so right back and CDM for me. So that's how I see it. Luton to get one. Okay, so you're backing us to lose. Fair enough. This is interesting. I think this is the most in the chat we've ever seen us like lose, unless we're in
Because of the physicality. They'll put it right on us, and
they're much better than Steve.
This season, we've just wilted.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I totally agree.
I've seen step ups from that, and this needs to be a continuation of that. Like this is going to be a battle. So we need to step up. But yeah, I can see it.
I think for me and you, Dad, the fact we're at home gives us the positivity. Because I'll be honest, if we were away, I'd say we'd lose this game.
And I would say the same as well.
Because they're really good at home as well. So yeah, we'll see. Jackie's gone 2-1. Bramall and Kadoa to score. Yeah, Bramall maybe. Bramall's always that player. I know he scores them wonderful free kicks, but he's always a player I look at and thinks he's going to get assists if he plays. So he is good at crossing 9 times out of 10 by the Exeter game. So yeah. Stay away from Charlie Webster, please. Oh, mate, I'd love him, but he's injured. And I don't think. Well, obviously, he's injured, but yeah, I just don't think it's not a player we'd look at, man. I just don't think Wilshere would look at him, even though he should. Because I think he's a top player, top player. I mean, like we said, Dad, and obviously I said keep an eye on him when we played Burton, and he was like really good. He's their only good player that day, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I don't even know, to be honest. There's usually one game we crumble, so you're not really wrong, to be honest. I've got to be honest. But yeah, like I say, I've got I can totally understand why you guys say a loss. I really, really can, to be honest, because they're miles better than Stevenage, and yeah, it goes back to what Harry said. Really, if they take their chance early on, and this is why I say we have to start well, then they will score. Big up to Daz. Obviously, goes over from Belgium to the games. Obviously, he went to the Fleetwood game. Unfortunately, that was poor. I nearly went to that, mate. Thankfully, I didn't. But he says, I'll be over for the match tomorrow. Was back for Boxing Day, but was ill, so I didn't go. Well, glad that you're better now, mate. And I'll tell you what, if you ever go to a game that I'm going to, jump on the fan cam if you want, mate. That'd be good to have you on to say your thoughts. My next game for definite is Blackpool at the end of the month. So yeah, that's my next home game that I'm definitely sure I'm going to. So yeah, man. But Dad, any final things you want to say before we wrap up?
No, well, let's see. This is another pivotal point in the season where a team's going to proper put it on you. You've rested players. You've just sort of gone out the trophy, even though you might get reinstated. But I don't, that's irrelevant to this game. You've just got to continue that home form, especially the performance. And you could be well fighting back again in this game, which I do think is going to happen. And we need to replicate the performance against Stevenage.
Yeah, and even the other games, like the Wickham game, the Leyton Orient game, maybe not in terms of result, but in terms of the performance levels, we've definitely got to be like that. And I think even like other games, like the Huddersfield and Bolton game, I know we didn't win the Bolton game, but we're very unlucky not to win. And like the Huddersfield game, obviously won that in the end. So them type of performances, please just get in their faces, because they're going to try and do that to us. And we got to be competing with them. I mean, for sure, they're a great side and fair play to them. Well, like I said, I think they will get second. But yeah, man. Does says, my prediction, I'd like 2-0, but I have a feeling it'll be 2-1. A win's a win, though. Yep, certainly is, mate. Fan cam, yep, I'll do that, mate. I don't even know what that is.
That was Axel got rid of the beard, yeah. A Diablo, no? Cocaño. Cocaño.
Catch you tomorrow on the stream. Yeah, no worries, Mick. No worries. We'll be live, obviously, for a watch along. And we'll see how Cardiff and Bradford do the early kickoff, because that might affect, like I say, that might affect the way Lincoln want to approach the game. Because I feel if Bradford don't win, I feel Lincoln might be happy with a draw. However, I feel if Thingy win, then Lincoln are going to go at us. Yeah, so we need to start well. But it's a massive game for us as well. If we win, we can go in the playoffs. So let's see. But then again, I've looked at the teams Huddersfield and Bolton are playing. With all due respect, Harry, I do think Huddersfield might beat Burton, to be honest. And then I can't remember who Bolton have got, to be honest. I can't remember. So I can't really remember. But hopefully, Exeter beat Stevenage as well. So that will help us even more, even though they're out the playoffs. But in terms of not being near us. So yeah, man, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Don't forget to smash a like, subscribe, follow me across on my socials. And yeah, man, we'll be back again for the watch along tomorrow. Hopefully, it's a positive watch along. And also, we will speak on the draw on there as well, of who we could possibly get, most likely get. On that, obviously, that's at 11:20. So yeah, big up to everyone, man. And yeah, match reaction as well tomorrow. So yeah, big up to everyone. And yeah, man. Until next time, we'll end it on this comment here from Harry when it comes through. Wherever it's gone. Oh, there it is. Keep the faith, Tyler, lad. Brewers help you out tomorrow. 2-0 win against Huddersfield. That'll be very good, mate. But I'm also saying you probably lose because of the injuries, because I know you have a hefty amount of injuries. But who knows? M1 says, thanks, guys. Big up to yourself, mate. So, yeah, there you go, guys. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Like I say, smash a like, all that. Take care. Peace.